Hello, welcome back to another video, and today I'll go in depth on how to build a loadout. A lot of videos don't really cover this at all. They cover the movement, positioning, aiming, strafing, tracking, all the key components of the actual game. But very little tips and tricks actually cover what loadout you should use. And I don't even know why. I mean, I know there's probably gonna be like a video somewhere, but like, yeah, there's no actual video to going in depth on how to build a loadout. I mean, there's videos on how to copy and paste other loadouts, but not how to build your own. And honestly, you do that by just experimenting with guns you like to use and guns that you don't like to use. And also, I rec, I don't like to use. And another important thing, what map are you gonna use it on, and what level it is. See, my Volk is level 70. My Nikita is level 32. Automaton, level 30. Then everything else is 2017 and below. Then my top SMG is my Blixen. Second, Marco. Then like under this radius, I mean, all my SMGs are pretty high level. You know, I mean not high level. They're all like higher level than I would actually expect them to. But I did say something about maps. Well, what it? Oh crap! I can't speak English. Is it important what gun I use for Pacific map? Cause like let's see you're playing Caldera and you're rocking an Akita and Marco. Normally this loadout would be probably like you'll do fine this loadout in Rebirth, but in Caldera is massive compared to like Fortune's Keep and Rebirth. So if you want to play on Caldera, I would say you want something a little bit more range. And also this also brings up next discussion. You should just look up the TTK and the range in the milliseconds, because all that information can really help you, build a good loadout for a certain game mode. And see, you also have to think about, you also have to pay attention to the pros and cons, and then accuracy, damage, range, fire rate, mobility, and control. Those are also like very key important things. So say if you want like a mini SMG, but you still want that mobility a bit, Still want that mobility. So you always have to look at the pros and cons. Cause see, normally a recoil booster on other guns would probably like boost the recoil. It still does this for the Nikita, but normally it also boosts the fire rate. Since the Nikita is already a fast shooting gun, it should honestly not have that. But you still know, you still might want to rock it, for the hip fire. But I've never seen a hip fire build for the Nikita, so maybe not. Then like the optic is just preference. Like for like every gun is like preference. Cause see this initial firing recoil, then aim down sight speed, sprint to fire speed, accuracy and recoil during cannot speak English. Then like movement speed. Then this has recoil control, movement speed, sprint to fire, and aim down sight for the cons, recoil control for the pros. Then pros initial fire and aim stability. Aim stability honestly is not that good. I'm not going to use that range, so I don't need that much of a stability. See then reload quickness. and surplus, because I still want to level up this gun. If you didn't check already, if you didn't know already, I have a level 32 Nikita right now, and Vanguard guns go all the way up to like 60, like 60 or like 70. So I'm not really in like a pretty good spot for myself right now. Flinch resistance. This gun doesn't have a lot of flinch. For people that don't know what flinch is, like I'm gonna put up a clip on like the Blixen, you know? The Blixen, it kind of just goes like, like you see how like, you're aiming down sight and you're shooting. You see that your gun is going back and forth every time you shoot it. That is basically what flinch is. It's basically how powerful your gun like goes back and forth. And see, I mean, if you couldn't see already, this is gonna be like a little bit of a movement build. And then my Owen gun, I've been trying to level this up like all day. I recommend you use a gun that you're comfortable with, and like like the TTK is also kind of like also important. But I say we're almost basically done. If you don't have a gun that you want to use leveled up, I completely recommend just using the ground loot version, because ground loot type 100 is just cracked, dude. Like I can't even stress this enough how good it is. And since like I'm just looking for a build, cause see like let's see what I have so far. I just want more. I just want more bullets in my mag. Subsonic, like no minimap pings and fire visibility to enemies. Pintar, recoil and hipfire accuracy. Aim stability, but then and on sight speed, yes, but it gives me more control. See, I'm also looking down there too. Muzzle, sound suppression, horizontal recoil control, bullet velocity, flinch resistance, sound suppression. If you didn't know, a sound um you pop up on the main map if you don't have a suppressor on. So basically, like people like whenever you're firing, people can see like where are you. See, these always look at this before you're trying to build a loadout, cause it can actually give you information like, should I wait for the next one or should I not? Cause I'm at level 26 at the current moment, and since I'm at like level 26, I don't have a lot of stuff. My type 100 build is probably gonna be really bad, but we're going to try it in Fortune's Keep. This is not my main build. I just built this like right before. So this, no perks, Rockwire perks. I prefer quick fix, overkill if you want like SMG and AR, and combat scout if you want if you want just enemy pings and know where people are. I mean, only people that you shoot at, you know. But I do like want to warn you, cold blooded. If a person has cold blooded on, combat scout or high alert will not activate. So they can aim at you and you can shoot at them and they will not pop out. Like, like the indications will not pop out. I'll just start a game of Fortune's Keep. This is Fortune's Keep is like the only thing most of us can play right now. no one can play Rebirth at all. I mean, I'm not saying that like any of the maps are like bad. Caldera isn't that bad. Caldera isn't bad. Rebirth isn't bad. Fortress Keep isn't bad. All these maps aren't bad. And yeah, I'm gonna be scared of this guy. His clan tag is Demon. And his username is Poopy Butthole. Yeah, I'm shaking in my boots. No sarcasm over here, just I'm quite literally shaking in my boots. That's another thing you should focus on when you're building a loadout. Is, I mean, if you have the game where these guns are from, I mean, like, let me see. If you have Vanguard, Cold War, Modern Warfare, you should just test the recoil. I mean, not Cold War. Cold War guns are way more different in Warzone than any other series or any other title. Or you gotta check the recoil and see if it's like easy to control. Cause sometimes the recoil is like not that easy to control at all. It's like, the recoil is probably like the hardest thing to control sometimes. Cause if you have a gun like max, if you have a gun with a lot of flinch and high recoil, you could not hit a shot for your life, even if you wanted to. Even if you tried your hardest. A good way to test this is just by going to a wall and just... That's me holding it down. That was really... Honestly, I have a feeling like that was not my loadout. Okay, so I won't be able to, I don't think I'll be able to test the recoil. If I can just hit this landing, like right here. I just can't land for the life of me. But the recoil, if your recoil pattern is controllable and easy, it's able to be put into Warzone. Then you gotta see how it feels in that too. But then also another very important thing is recoil control. How, like, you know, different seconds. I mean, I think like depending on your gun. Like very much depending on your gun. I'm gonna land wider again. That's really like wide land. Most of the time I don't really got This game hates me right now, dude. Okay, so there's also these things called like SMGs, SMG ARs, and like SMG ARs and ARs SMGs. See, this is the loadout we have. It's not the greatest one. Got one. See, snapshot grenades are just really good for just finding people. It's not a bad tactic at all. I actually really enjoy using them. They're really helpful. See, this is my Nikita right now. In my opinion, it's honestly pretty bad. Pretty bad, like pretty chalked. Yeah, he has to be up there. Is that why I'm like blind? Cause I hear them. that's over there.
Enemy soldier nearby. Enemy UAV active. You've got gas moving in.
There's a limit to the range you can have on these things, but like, you know, they're still pretty useful. So like my first kill, that came from the snapshot. Heartbeat sensors can do like the same
Enemy
thing.
UAV active.
See, that guy was like full plates and I just annihilated him. I also use a
Enemy
heartbeat
soldier
sensor.
nearby.
A lot of people are gonna like hate on me for like using a heartbeat sensor.
Enemy
like-
UAV active.
For people who just can't use UAVs like other people do, the pros, this is really useful.
Loadout drop headed your way. Enemy UAV active. Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone.
Both these builds are good.
Supply truck is locked up dead cats reserves. I think I need to ambush them.
You always gotta go hit your shots. I mean, I missed a few shots, but I still got them. So, you always gotta mix in some high damage areas.
Enemy soldier nearby.
See that? Guy was probably wondering what gun I had, bro. Okay, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. This gun smacks. Gun smacks harder than child abuse. I probably should not say that. And also, like buying UAVs. Right now, a stim would be nice.
25 still remaining.
See, this build is not good for range. Just gonna mention that, dude.
Enemy UAV active. We've got gas moving in.
See, not even stand a chance.
Enemy UAV active. Enemy dropping into the AO.
See, this whole game is get information, act on information.
Hostile dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
But the thing about this, dude, it doesn't have, like, it can tell you where people
Gas is
are
closing in.
on a
Relocating
horizontal
the safe
scale,
zone.
but then once you go vertical, it's complete dog water. recommend not getting, not using a heartbeat sensor if you're really good at using UAVs. Because the heartbeat sensor is helping me because I'm not good at reading UAVs.
Watch your six. Resurgence will be gone soon.
Now, the thing I don't like
Hostile dropping into the area.
about my
Watch the skies.
current loadout right now
Got gas moving in.
see that. See, the thing about the build, you really just have to hit your shots.
You've got another chance to make a difference.
See, all my kills, I hit like most of my shots, if not high damage areas. See, and this is the loadout I built before the video.
No longer available. Make your action count.
See, guns with fast TTK honestly have the advantage.
Victory is within reach.
See, like that,
Less than
I got high
25
damage areas, but I wasn't doing enough movement, you know? I'm not seeing enough movement, you know? Ninja.